Hey, my name's Phil the Cruz. Well, I'm cruising with Phil. I got a special guest. Met them one day. When did I meet you? During the Remembrance Day parade at the Rogers Depot in Eaton Center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Karan Balwani, how you doing, Karen? How you doing?
I've been good. Like, finally got an off day. I've been working since Wednesday till Monday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the past day has just been about resting and just, rejuvenating.
So you work in the Eaton Center, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, that's cool. How long you been there now for?
About 7 months, 7 to 8 months.
Yeah, that's right. That's good. So tell the people who you are and what you're all about.
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate you for completing 1 year with Cruising with
Oh,
Phil.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah. So my name is Karan. I am originally from India. Currently, I'm working as a sales representative at Rogers Communications at Eaton Center. Um, it's been an interesting journey. Like, this is my fourth career. I moved out of my dad's like family business to pursue writing as a career, and have been doing that for the past 7 years. And over the years, I got interested in other creative pursuits as well, including improv comedy and stand up comedy as well. I have a couple of videos online if you guys want to check it out. And apart from that, I just really like to go on solo travel, like solo trips, meeting people from around the world, discussing life, because everybody has their own experiences. So it's always like unraveling a treasure when you talk to another person and they're sharing their life stories. And I believe that's how me and Phil met as well.
Yeah.
Like, he came to me with a problem he
Yeah,
couldn't.
my my cell phone, right? I said
Yeah,
I
you had some
well,
problem with
yeah,
your
because they
contact.
I save people's content and they disappeared, so you show me how to find it. Actually, I gotta ask you again after I do it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so funny. So you said your family business in India?
Yeah.
Can I ask what it is?
So my dad owns a factory. We manufacture paints, what you put on the walls and all of
Oh,
that,
okay.
and related chemicals as well that are needed in construction and building homes and all of that.
Okay.
So I worked with him for 7 years, and it was quite a good learning experience. Learning business at such a young age. I was about 18 or 19 when I started. So recently, I actually completed 15 years of my professional journey. So yeah, it's been quite a journey so
Oh, what's
far.
that? 15 years of your professional journey?
Yeah, uh,
Oh, what's that?
like ever since I started working,
Yeah.
so I was about 18. Now I'm 33.
You're
So
33? Wow, you're young.
thank you.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, but it's interesting, I started out working with people who were much older than me, and I noticed how the transition happened because when you talk to them during lunchtime, they'd be like, "Okay, this is the insurance I'm buying," or "My son or daughter did this, so I punished them that way, or I scolded them." And then when I moved to Mumbai to pursue writing, then most of the people were quite younger than me, and the conversations changed. They cared about a lot of different stuff compared to this, like reels, who's trending online, and all of that. So it took a while to integrate into this new society or this new social group, but I got to learn a lot from them as well.
How long's your dad's company? How long has it been around for?
It's been around since 1956.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so my grandpa actually opened that factory back in the day, and then over the years, uh, they it got split into like multiple branches in a way. So all my cousins have their own like unit, or you can say factory. So now it's like six factories. Everybody has their own ownership, and everybody's making money. So
So
yeah,
you could have been like an owner of the factory, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you chose not to.
Yeah, because business is a thing where you kind of get tied down, like you cannot leave it to pursue other things. You have to be there to attend your clients, to make sure everything is done at on time, and there are a lot of responsibilities. In my current situation as a writer, as a salesperson. So I have that flexibility to pursue different careers or expand in an area that I'm interested in. So let's say when you combine sales with writing, so that can be transitioned into marketing, and like the possibilities are numerous. So yeah, I'm happy for the life I chose.
So how
So
did I was gonna ask, be nosy here. How did your dad feel? Said you want to go work, want to go be a writer, not working in the factory anymore.
um he kind of expected it because he used to tell me that he used to tell my mom that he keeps, reading something or the other on his phone, and he keeps writing down things or whatever on the order form and all of that. So I always have been like, two of my favorite subjects growing up were always IT and English literature,
Okay,
and
nice.
to read a lot of books as well.
Oh, good.
So yeah, he kind of anticipated that he would do, like, he's different from the others. He always used to tell me that once you start earning money, you see the cash in hand and everything, then automatically you will generate interest in this business. But I gave my best there. He was happy with that, but he also gave me his blessing to pursue something I was
Oh, that's
interested
nice. That's nice.
in. I'm always grateful for my parents that
Yeah,
they are the reason that I'm here.
oh, that's great. So you went from where's the factory in What part of India?
So it's in a city called Indore,
Yeah, I know
back in
it.
India.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like in the
I'm
smack
from
middle of the.
I'm born in Calcutta. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm born in Calcutta, so I'm not. Yeah, and then you went to Mumbai to pursue your writing. Did you take a course or whatever, or university or what?
I didn't take a course, but the first company I joined, Lexicon Content Services, they taught me everything to know there's to know about writing. I learned everything from scratch, and we had a team of about 15 writers. So it was as if I found my tribe. So I still miss that office. It was an amazing place to work, amazing co-workers, and the brands we worked for were quite interesting as well.
You're in Mumbai for how many years were you there?
On and off, I'd say about 3 to 4 years.
Okay, so then what made you? What was the next step to come to Toronto?
Yeah, so ever since I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, I always wanted to come to a developed country, especially in North America, given that I had grown up watching like movies and all the cultural things and the
Yeah,
humor of that kind of attracted me. And when I was 10 years old, I went to Dubai to meet my uncle, my mother's brother, and I actually saw that what is a life for a NRI who lives outside India, and that really, like, I was mesmerized by that, and a lot of my preferences, lifestyle choices, and all of that have kind of been inspired from that. So from 8 years of age, I used to fantasize about living in US or Canada, and at 32, I was finally here. So it still feels unbelievable. It
was
still.
uh was Toronto your first choice to come to Canada? Come to Canada or what?
The first choice was New York, but at the same time, any place in North America was good for me. And it might be odd, like, even though I've been on so many solo trips across India and other countries as well. It was here in Toronto the first time I actually saw like snowfall.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'd always seen that, fallen snow. Like when you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, there's snow all around.
Yeah,
But actual falling snow, that's the first experience was in Canada.
that's so funny. Wow, that's because my mom tells me this story when we came from India. My dad never saw snow. He lived in India all his life, and
Mm-hmm.
then when he came here, he was like a kid. He first time seeing snow as an adult, right? Like just like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, right? The
Yeah.
snowfall, you know. Then did you feel the cold right away?
It wasn't as bad as I thought I would. It was
Yeah.
because like I realized that instead of having like really heavy jackets, layering really helps. So as long as you're equipped with the right gear, it you can manage in even -20 weather as well.
I'm gonna ask you about the how'd you find the culture change? Was it a big shock for you from going from Mumbai to Toronto pace or whatever?
I'd say it wasn't as big of a shock because Mumbai itself is a very cosmopolitan city, and it's In that way, it's much more developed than other parts of the country, in my personal opinion.
Hmm.
But there were certain things that, it's I think it's just a Toronto thing maybe, but when you greet someone, it's like, hey, how's it going? Sometimes people just like go to the point that they won't be like, because they know it's like the default answer, I'm good. You know, sometimes when you say I'm good and the other person is like, they'll just start with whatever they want to say. So that's like a weird thing to navigate, but overall it's been nice. People are kind and polite over here, and like I feel that the place, like, Toronto has been quite kind to me so far, and I've met a lot of wonderful people, including you. They expand the ways, and I think, and even this interview today. So it's like a very big opportunity because I get to learn from you. At the same time, like, if I'd say my dream job would be like a late night talk show host, something similar to like
You
David
never
Letterman.
know, right? Yeah, you
Yeah,
never
David
know.
Letterman, Craig Ferguson, something like that. So
I'll remember
we
this interview when you get to that point in your life, you're on a TV or talk show host, and he was like, "I remember this show I did with Phil." So I'll have a
yeah,
recording of that.
you'd
Yeah.
be my first guest, that's for
Oh,
sure.
cool, cool.
Yeah.
So I ask you, you went from how long did it take to come to Canada? Like, when you applied for immigration, and all? How long was the process?
The process itself took about 2.5 years
Oh, okay, wow.
because, yeah, because I applied in mid 2019 and then I
Hmm.
was waiting for the draw for the score to drop so I could apply. I
Hmm.
could be invited to apply, and then COVID hit. So,
Yeah.
like, I actually had to wait almost a year just to give my biometrics because all the visa offices shut down. And it was quite a journey, but in the meantime I did my research, like everything from uh, which car to buy, how to invest in accounts, and what kind of bread is the best, and all of those things. If you want this is cheaper over at, let's say, Freshco, don't buy this from Shoppers Drug Mart, and all of that. I still have those notes with me,
Yeah.
and I
That's
try
so
to help
cool.
as much as I can.
So I ask you, um, you came from, you got accepted, you went through immigration. So when you landed in Toronto, where did you find a place to stay, or do you have anything set up, or what?
So I started with an Airbnb. It was near to, I'd say, Victoria and Ellesmere,
Okay.
so bordering Scarborough. And I stayed there for 15
Hey, Victoria
days.
Park in Ellesmere? That's where I am. I live here. That's where I live.
Oh, wow.
Where about was your Airbnb?
So this was just opposite Parkway Mall.
Yeah, that's right. Just like 5 minute rap down the road from me. 5 minute
Mhm.
walk. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
funny. Was it a house Airbnb?
Yeah, it was a house, so I was staying in the basement.
Okay.
So I stayed there for 15 days and I found a place, and then I moved in. And ever since then, this is the current house I'm living in. That's the third place.
Oh, you're
So,
in a house right now?
yeah.
Okay, good. In the basement apartment? Or
Yeah, it's an apartment.
oh, cool.
Right.
How's it? It looks nice. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
good. So are you downtown Toronto now, or what?
So I'm still in North York right now. It's very close to Donmel Station.
Okay.
So yeah, so like commute and everything is quite convenient from
Oh,
here.
that's good. Yeah, that's nice. Do you have a car
Yeah.
yourself?
I'm not right now,
Good
but
looking.
probably in the next year or so.
So we came to Toronto, and was Rogers the first job you got?
Yeah, so I came to Toronto. I already had my freelance writing job. I had a client I was working with for almost 1.5 years. So I worked with them for another 6 months, and then the project actually got suspended for internal reasons. And I always wanted to try my hand at sales because, it's a life skill. Whether you are on the mic, giving a presentation, performing comedy, or, talking to people, dating, sales skill is really important to learn. It was on my bucket list, and I had actually got a book for it. Obviously you can't learn how to do sales from a book,
No.
but God put me in a situation where I could practice my craft every day in one of the busiest location in all of Canada, which is the Eaton Center. So I'm really grateful for that.
Was that where that's from the first place to put you right there, right as soon as you got the job there, right in the
Yeah,
Rogers Center? Oh, so cool. Yeah, it's right in the open, right? That's where I met you. This is
yeah.
cool. It's good.
Mhm.
So, can you tell people your video channel where you do your comedy?
Um, yeah, so I like I used to enjoy watching stand-up comedy a lot, and I'd actually binge watch it just like people do, like Netflix shows and all of that stuff. And then I started watching videos. There's this amazing channel by Jerry Coley, the Joke Doctor. That's
Yeah, yeah,
his
yeah.
monitor. So I learned about it, how to prepare your set and everything. I attended stand-up comedy in Mumbai, like live shows, and I thought I should try this. And listening to jokes, your mind starts to work. You start connecting pieces together, and that's how I came with my first set. I was quite nervous because I still didn't know how to, work the mic in a way, like work the audience is far ahead, but work the mic. Like I didn't know how to adjust the mic stand. I know it sounds a bit silly.
No, no, no. It's funny.
Yes, that was my first experience, and it was a bringer show where you have to bring at least one person in the crowd, then you're allowed to perform.
Oh, you ever come in the crowd? Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And
So,
after that, people liked it. So on my next solo travel to Goa, there was an open mic. I took the chance. I wrote a new set in English because there was a lot of people from other countries as well. I just wanted to try that out. And then not a lot of people were participating on the open mic that day. So I did my original set as well in Hindi, and I could see how the confidence had increased like manifolds, because it was a much more relaxed environment. So it was like a hostel where they had like an open bar, and people were, just coming in and out and just visiting, checking out what's happening. So yeah, that's been my comedy journey so far.
you're a writer, and well, so what got you doing comedy? So something like something else interested you, or what, or just happened when you're over here in Canada?
It was more like most of my friends around me, like I'd just say something on the top of my head, and people are like laughing out loud and everything. I would find those things quite normal. So I thought maybe I should give it a try. On top of that, I'm born on the 1st of April, so April Fool. So I thought, that would play well into a joke, maybe.
You're a funny guy. Okay, so you're a writer and you're funny guy. It's funny. I saw some of your videos. The ones you did on. What's your name of your video channel again?
So it's life with a laptop.
Life with a laptop. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I still go check it out there. You can see your comedy there.
Yeah, because most of the time, like whether I use like while writing for like professionally for my own things, or maybe entertainment. So instead of a TV, my laptop is everything. I just, spend some of my time with it. So life with a laptop, that's my life.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. So that's something hard. I mean, I do speeches for elections. But that's different thing. Making people laugh, right? Because you're trying to make people serious, take it serious. So it must be something to do, right? So you've been like a comical guy all your life. So they just like, go ahead, just go on stage and do it. You know?
Mhm. It's more like I think comedy is easier than like speeches and stuff, because
Yeah.
let's say if you're giving a speech in front of a company or something, you are always afraid that if you mess up, then people laugh at you and all of that. In comedy, it's like if they laugh at your joke or at you, you succeeded in your mission.
Yeah. What kind of comedy shows do you like on TV?
Whose line is it anyway? I watch a lot of specials as well. There are some Indian comics who I really admire, like Puneet Pania, Akash Mehta, and in international comics, I really like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock,
Chris
Kevin
Rock.
Hart, yeah, George Carlin.
Oh, George.
Really,
Oh, you like George Carlin? Really?
yeah,
Yeah, he's classic. Yeah, yeah. He's one of the they call him the cult guy now. He's one of the. You ever seen his skit on He did a whole thing about the golf courses all over America, how they
yeah,
waste land. You ever seen that? That's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
he's one of my favorites. Mine's are I like the regular guys like Robin Williams,
yeah.
Joan Rivers. They passed away the same year.
Mm.
Another one is David Brenner. I don't know if you heard David. He's another comedian. I liked a lot of his jokes. He used to be like his are like more like a dry joke. Some of the stuff I used to use some of his stuff for my own jokes. And I don't say
Mm.
it's his. I wouldn't say it's mine. I would say that's a David Brenner joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the English subtle comedy, like the subtle, like the undertone comedy where you're saying something in a serious tone and you say it kind of like an offset. You gotta, eh, unless the other person picks it up, they're not gonna catch on.
Yeah,
So
kind of like John Oliver.
yeah, 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 yeah. He does that all the time. He does that. He
Yeah.
does that thing, and then you're like, no, 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 and you're like, what?
Mm.
You gotta be, you gotta be international to understand comedy in some ways, right? You gotta know all aspects, different aspects, like dry comedy and just harsh. It's also harsh comedy. My sister asked me years ago to give my nephews and nieces advice. My her two kids. So
Mm.
she wants to give them some advice. So I told them this. I said I sat them down. They're like 8 or 9. I said, I'll tell you the best thing you can do in life is this. There's three kinds of jokes. I tell them this, right? There's
Mm.
there's instant, there's instant, there's planned, and there's delayed jokes. I said if you can laugh about anything in life, whatever you do, if you make a mistake, you screw it up, if you can laugh, then you're okay with life. If you take yourself too serious, you're gonna get too uptight, you're gonna have health problems, medical problems, then you're gonna make more mistakes. You have brothers and sisters?
I have an elder sister. She's back in India, and I have like she's settled, and I have two like adorable nephews as well.
Oh, there's her kids, her boys, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're by yourself. You're in Toronto. Like all your family's back in India, right?
Yes.
So how's that? So when's the last time you've been back to India to see your family?
It was this year in March.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of used to living by myself. It's been quite a few years, even when I was living back in Mumbai. But I think I'm introverted in that sense, and I really like my peace and quiet and all of that. Obviously, I go to solo trips to socialize and all of that, but that peace and semblance, that is really valuable to me as well. I was
That's
actually
nice.
thinking of a joke the other day. So I was like, I'm an introverted person. I get overstimulated by social conversations. If I ever have a kid, then if there's a phone call or a message or a friend, you can talk to him. Okay, I need some space or something. But there's a kid inside, like over here, who's crying. He won't stop crying, and I need my space. What do I do? How do introverts manage that? So I was thinking of expanding that into something like a comedy set.
You talk on video with your family back and forth in India?
Yeah, I do. I just had a
Okay.
video call with my parents today.
Okay.
In the
How old your nephews?
Nephews are great. One of them had their 12th birthday just few days ago,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, they just love their, like, tablets and phones and everything.
Okay.
Like, and like even when they were really small, like maybe 3 or 4 years old, you see them holding a smartphone and they're just like swiping. They quickly, pick out what they want to watch from
I know
related
it's
videos,
amazing.
and they're watching like unboxing videos for toys and all made
Yeah,
by
yeah,
us.
they're technology kids and technology. Like my other nephew showed me how to paste one day. Like, how do you paste? He's like 8 years old. Comes over, but I had to put him on a box seat, lift him up. He's typing away. I was like, oh my god, feel like out of date here. So technical like today's generation, kids wise for technology is just over. I think it's great. For the future, for our future, our country, they can take
Mhm.
their technology, their wisdom, and what they're learning at a young age and help society, help mankind. That'd be great. I was gonna ask you. So, are you a single guy or are you with anybody right now?
I'm single, but I always say that I'm always taking new applications. So
Yeah, I like that. I'll tell my buddies. Well, he's dating right. I say, "Well, do the application like my friend Karen said." I like that. I was gonna ask you that. You ever see these? It's funny. I had this thing the other day. You see these commercials for this foot fungus? You know,
hmm
like
yeah.
every time you turn on the TV, I'm like, what is this? Like a fire commercial of foot fungus all the time. It's like, what is this? You know,
Mhm.
it's like it's become standard now in society. Like even my cousins, like when I'm talking to them, it's like you jog a lot, you run a lot, you work out a lot. Phil, Uncle Phil, do you have a lot of foot fungus? Like, what do you foot fungus? You're watching too many commercials. So I said I put a kind of like push it for a little more. So it's gonna become so normal, right? Karen's got when you go into these dating services now when you put the application in, you say like you accept foot fungus, right? because some people have foot fetishes, right? I don't. There's a
Yeah.
word for that. Yeah. So
Hmm.
does that include foot fungus with your foot fetish or what? This is
Well,
funny.
I think that could be like a tongue twister, foot fungus, foot fetish, and then it's not mutually inclusive. You can either have a foot fetish or you can have a foot fungus, but not both.
Yeah. I mean, no. Hey, are you gonna do any more videos for your comedy on your channel there? You've done a
Um,
couple there.
I'm actually looking to like I've written some material and I'm looking forward to visit a couple of comedy clubs and
Okay. Yeah.
understand the vibe and everything, and then I'll go perform. But like the current job schedule that keeps me
Oh yeah. Yeah.
back to the brim. So let's see
Yeah,
in a
because
month.
they have a lot of I forgot what you can go online and find you can have like put your name down and go for an improv, just put your name in there and go and check it out and just
Mhm.
they have amateur nights or audition nights and they're like you also go watch professional. I used to go watch the Second City and quite a bit and there's a whole bunch of stuff on Eglinton. Also, it's changed since COVID, but it used to be a whole bunch of comedies, small little like, venues, comedy bars, and all. You go and check it out, and
Mhm.
then they have like music and then they have a little mixture. Yeah, you can just go and see the variety of. And even
Yeah.
they have, I don't think they have a, I don't know, we have a comedy festival in Toronto. That'd be kind of, we have have you been to Montreal to see the Just for Laughs?
I actually want to because I used to watch a lot of that like
Oh,
that
yeah,
show,
yeah.
Just for Laughs and all of that, and it's one of the like it's the biggest music festival in all
Oh,
across
yeah,
the
yeah.
world.
You ever get a chance to go to Montreal just for they close the whole area. Just, it's so many venues to go check out, not just to the main stage, but it's packed. I've been there for also the jazz festival is also amazing. They got a humongous jazz festival. It's really good. But I
Mhm.
remember watching that years ago just for laughs. I like the one those, the one on TV. It's always done in Montreal.
Mhm.
They set the little scenarios up for jokes for the reactions. You know,
Mhm.
some of the funny ones are some of them pretty pretty great. Then you have the camera pointing at the person that like they're on camera and all that. It's like there should be a show called years ago. I'm aging myself called Candid Camera. You ever heard of that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Alan
remember.
Funk. This is like years back in the 70s. This is before Just for Laughs, way before. They used to do these skits all the time, like
Like smile,
these.
you're on candid camera.
Yeah. Smiler, yeah. It was funny. It was like this is like back in the 70s, and I was a kid watching it. But I used to
Mhm.
watch. I like watching SNL, the old classic. You ever watch they call it not ready for time, like not ready for time, prime time players, whatever. With John Belushi, Gilda
Mhm.
Radner is one of my favorites, and Dan Aykroyd, all those little Garrett Morris. So if you're watching now, like a lot of unpolitically correct, all the old comedy back then, like especially the
Mhm.
stuff they got away with. There's another one. He was called In Living Color. You ever heard of that one? With
I've heard of it, but I
Yeah,
haven't.
with the Wyan brothers. So they're a big family. They put on their show called In Living Color. A lot of comedians took
Mhm.
their careers Jim Carrey.
Mhm.
He's a Canadian, but I used to watch him on CBC years ago when he was just like regular, like wasn't well known back then. He's simple
I
comedy.
I actually saw a documentary recently. It was a Netflix special. Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. So they were talking about living in color, or the show, and how
Mhm.
it started. How people started accepting stand-up comedy, that it can be done in front of large crowds and all of that.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah, it was quite an interesting documentary. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like kind of like a tiebreaker because because the Wyan family was a very large family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they always had like some of they had a 70 shows called like Flip Wilson. He used to be a guy dressed in drag. Sometimes he'd show up. He's funny. And then Living Color came along. It actually showed a mixture of different cultures having comedy, and that's Paula Abdul was been that. She used to be a dancer way back a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. But you ever go on YouTube and see any of the old skits? Of the old Jim Carrey did, like some of the
Uh,
old
I, I've seen one of his old skits. Like this was it's maybe from 92 or 94. He's wearing this t-shirt which is had like different lots of colors, similar to that Windows XP logo. And yeah, he's like, even back then, the type of expressions that man could master, it was hilarious. Like he did a impression of, I believe, who's the guy who's like, I forgot his name. Anyways, Western movies, always had a serious face. I'm something would, I forgot his name. Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh, the
doing an
impression. Yeah, he's good. He does
yeah.
that. He's got the
He
eyebrow.
adjusts his whole
Yeah, yeah.
face and like it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's got a very stretchy face. Yeah, yeah. You see
Yeah.
another you did this called Fire Marshal Bob. I can't remember that. You see this fire marshal, and he had this stretch his skin out and did this the way he talked. He was hilarious. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean he was when he did the movies, he was perfect for the Pet
The-
Detective, The Mask.
yeah.
Uh, he did the Grinch, but he couldn't really see his face too much in the Grinch. But it was good in that. You know, just his
Yeah.
whole. And then he started out like he was on before Living Color took him up as an employee, right? He was
Mhm.
on CBC and also even the old SCT. You ever watch the old SCTV back then? The old our old Canadian shows. Like now it's
Yeah.
called classic. The like you know like the what do you call the brothers? Forgot the names are Jim, Bob and Doug Bob, the McKenzie brothers. And
Mhm.
then a lot of a lot of them went to American the states and all, right?
Yeah.
I heard that William Shatner way back used to be a
Mhm.
comedian. You know,
Mhm.
are you a science fiction fan?
Um, not a lot, but it's more like
Is it because
if
you
I
like your
see.
is it because you like your space?
Could be, but it again depends on the execution. I haven't read a lot of science fiction, but I like, grand stories with like right now we are living in a world of superhero movie fatigue and all of that. But I love my Marvel, my DC, Harry
Oh,
Potter,
you
and
just
all of that.
okay.
I also love my rom-com movies as
Oh,
well.
you said you like Marvel and DC at the same time.
Yeah, I'm a bit more
I'm sorry, but there's only it's either one or the other.
like I'm more biased towards Marvel, but they haven't been doing well
Oh,
recently
you got
as
to go
com-
back to DC. You know, DC's the best. I'm being biased here. DC's the best. My
Mhm,
brother-in-law's a mother Marvel fan. So my
mhm,
first nephew, his first son, when he was we I taking the movie, I would take him to every DC movie, and he would take me to the Marvel movies. Right?
mhm.
There's competition between the two, trying to convince my nephew that you got to go to the better taste of Uncle Phil. You know, than to go and see Marvel. Did your nephews did they watch all the superhero stuff back in India?
Yeah. So for the first few years, they weren't allowed to watch because they were too young, and there's like fighting and violence and all of that. So one of the times Avengers Endgame was on TV, I just put it on and he was watching with me. And then my sister came in and said that no, he's not allowed to watch that. There's a lot of violence. And I was like, I asked you and you didn't tell me that you're not allowed to watch. So just like that.
So my nephew did that to me. I got in trouble because he said I babysat him one night before my niece came on the scene and what was I watching? Oh, Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
We got the DVD, right? Because he hadn't seen it. So I said, "Are you allowed to watch it?" And the baby said, "Yeah, yeah, watch it, watch it." So they came home and he was like sitting there at 11 o'clock watching this to me. His eyes are all popped out there. He's like, "Yeah, you let him watch this?" He said he can watch it. Yeah, I know he's never seen it before. He had nightmares though. It's sort of my fault. So
Hmm.
hey, you like a 5 minutes now. We'll go to the next interview, next part. So I ask you what kind of books you like reading.
Um, I I'm more inclined towards rom-coms, like love stories, and then I like my like fantasy books where there's world building. Like I wouldn't read Game of Thrones, but I love Harry Potter.
Oh,
So
I was
yeah,
gonna read Game of Thrones, yeah, because he hasn't finished his books yet, so I don't want to read the whole thing yet and go back and start reading it again, right? Because he's
like
been working.
even with the show, like some people love it, some people just can't watch it. I've had like friends who are like hardcore fans. They're like, come sit with me, watch, I'll explain it to you and all of that. I tried a couple of episodes and I just lost interest because there's too much investment of your time and intellect and all
Yeah.
of that. And sometimes you can't just get into it. So it's just that.
Even this other series, the prequel called The
Mhm.
House of Dragon. I only watch it for the dragons. So that's all I like. I don't want. I haven't watched the whole series. I watched bits and pieces on the YouTube, and people show me stuff. I said, "Hey, you like dragons? Here's dragons." They said, "I don't understand the whole storyline because they keep in this part of the prequel. They kind of like jump different time spaces or whatever. So I gotta buy it, I guess, and watch it. You know.
Mhm.
So you like? So you said you like romance books? What kind of romance books you like?
Yeah, like I've read a lot of Chicken Soup for the Soul. So they
Chicken
have
soup? Really? You like chicken soup? Cool.
Yeah, like I'm a vegetarian, but I like the books which are called chicken soup.
Oh, so you read what you cannot eat.
Yeah. So they have like 100 short stories about anything, like, about work, about writing, about like love
Yeah, yeah.
stories. And then there are like, I started my reading journey, like reading books and all, from love stories. So it would be like a guy and a girl, and they fall in love, coming of age stories. And the most interesting part is when they show it from the guy's point of view or girl's point of view, what's going on in their head, how they're making decisions, were they nervous and all of that. So the really human side of it, and then the silly mistakes that they make, that they were trying to impress her or him, and something else started happening. It didn't work out as it was expected, and the whole journey that it takes the reader. That's the fun part.
Sounds like my last relationship. Wow.
Mine too.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a girlfriend previously?
Yeah, it was a really good relationship, but at the
Is,
same
is
time,
here in Toronto?
no, back in Mumbai.
Oh, so you haven't met a nice girl in Toronto yet?
I've met a few people, but I'm still finding my muse, you can say.
Oh, okay. Well, so any particular, I mean, those any particular type you like, or are you open to all, or what?
No preference as such. I would like to date people from different cultures and, understand. Like, for example, for us, it's Diwali, the biggest festival for Indians.
Yeah.
So here it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'd love to learn more about their cultures and how they celebrate it, what's the significance behind it, and how they do it, or how their family tradition is like. So I'm really interested in learning
You'll have to put
about.
that application in for the food things, like when you want to meet the girl. You like turkey? Or they're like this. They all right, turkey. Let's go date. So you want to go into the second part? Or it's gonna end in about 1 minute here.
Yeah.
We'll go to the second part. Okay, so I'll just sign off here, and we'll come back and continue this conversation with the food
Okay.
there.